Hello and welcome back to the ESL Pro League North American Division Season 5. And I do have good news this time. It looks like we are going to be momentarily underway with compLexity and NRG. They've sorted out the server and it looks like they're getting involved, getting into it, and hopefully we'll be into it relatively shortly. So, looking forward to this one.
Absolutely. Should be a good matchup now that we're finally there. So, be interesting to say, as we've said before, we think these teams are going to be pretty evenly balanced going into this one. So, it may end up just being a straight aim duel. See who's more on point today.
Well, Nuke and Cobblestone, as far as I'm aware, are going to be the maps coming out here. Potential for, some difficult or interesting strategies. Looks like Nuke, the first map of the day between these two teams. It's not like a puggy kind of aim style map like Dust 2. Maybe even you could liken a little bit Cache, I suppose, but more, I suppose, strategic based on Nuke.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, it's one of those maps that has come in relatively recently into the pool. So a lot of teams are still only just working towards picking it. But either way, going to be getting into the pistol round here. We're between NRG and compLexity, with NRG on the CT side, compLexity taking the T.
Alrighty, so let's have a look and see what compLexity do decide to do. Just jumping up onto the silo here. Potential for them to have a bit of a look on towards outers, though. They do have a couple of players in Squeaky here, and interested to see how this works out. Maybe send a couple in through outers. Looks like it could be an A hit, though.
But Dap's going to be coming through behind them here from the outside. Actually catches him out. Not going to land a shot, though. Does make his presence known and will be falling back for now. And that could have actually been a kill or two for him there to start this one off, but looks like these teams are going to be working their way into the upper bomb site now. Smoke out of Squeaky. We've got Peter up on top here, waiting for this vent drop to happen, but nothing happening just yet. And now Desi moving over towards his ramp position, challenging Fugly there, who's going to be falling back, but all of a sudden, quite a lot of map control here for compLexity.
Yeah, they certainly do. Fugly has fallen all the way back into the bomb site. Breezy as well, sitting in close towards CT spawn.
Breezy.
He's going to have a bit of pressure coming his way, and it is the form of Uber to pick up the kill there onto Breezy. 4 versus 5 now in the favor of compLexity. So they've opened things up quite nicely. They've got the player advantage and still 45 seconds left to work with as we see now compLexity start to make their way in towards the B-bomb site.
Here they come as well. These doors, toxic doors are open. They're going to clear out that area, though. There is no CTs in there. There's one in vent. It's going to be the closest one. It's going to be Peter falling back for now, waiting for his teammates to arrive so we can challenge them together. Bomb goes down. There's another kill, actually. Def going to take out Marquis. Surreal going to find Peter as well. Fugly at least going to trade that one back, but it's a 2-on-4 already. Bomb planted for Squeaky where there are 2 players, though. Nice shot from Daps will at least get one more. Smoke on the bomb, but sticking this defuse will be unbelievably game. He's going to do it. He's got a kit too. Fugly, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. He might just have this one. They're going to steal it away. NRG defusing inside the smoke. Fugly with the kit will go down in the end, but they'll get the round.
Yeah, I think a little disappointing there really for compLexity. They had almost everything going their way, and to see that round slip over to NRG, as I said, is going to be disappointing for them, but obviously pretty early on in the piece here for the moment, so they're going to be just ecoing this one out. They'll probably look for the AK buy next round, given that they did get the bomb down. NRG, of course, buying into this one. They do have 4 SMGs and the FAMAS, just in case maybe someone bought armor on compLexity, but as we know, that is not the case.
With the exception of Uber, who's found himself a P250 and head armor off the back of a couple kills, but there's a nice shot from Daps. We'll drop Desi with a headshot, and I think that's just going to be the story of this round, really. I mean, it should be. There's no armor except on Uber. There's a lot of SMGs on the field. This one really should just be NRG getting all of the kills here, and Daps going to spot out a few of the Ts there, trying to push, but his own Molotov will force him back. Grenade in to follow it up, though. A little bit of damage from that, not a lot. Breezy on the upper rafters, taking a fight outside. And not going to win it, but one of his teammates will do it for him. And now the numbers on the T side are dwindling. But there's a nice shot from Uber. Will at least get rid of Daps. But Fugly and Peter pick up 1 each. And now Surreal, the last player remaining, only a Glock as well. His teammates had the upgraded pistols. They're all dead. It's not looking good for him. No,
certainly not. I mean, there's really not much that he can do now, just with the Glock making his way. And he's been spotted out as well. And it's going to be Markey finding the kill. NRG with 2 on the board now, and obviously compLexity should be buying into this one. Looks like they are going to be doing just that. Not a lot of money, though, available for them just for those utilities. They didn't get too many kills last round. They didn't get too many kills initially, so yeah. Okay, they've got a few flashbangs and a couple of smokes, but really not a whole lot to work with.
Yeah, this round really is going to be decided just by those AK-47s and how they use them. I mean, yeah, they don't have the utility, as you said, but they do have superior weaponry. So the question will be on how they're going to be able to deploy that against what is, yeah, a mixed buy, but not a bad buy out of NRG. But that's a good way to start with Desi finding Fugly early on in the aggressive peak. Peter right behind him, but he will actually be falling back for now. There's another kill going through. Lots of kills for compLexity. Actually, they found themselves 3 already. Peter heavily tagged. Going to throw a flashbang so he can fall a little bit further back. Still playing behind this smoke, but I don't think they're going to push it. They seem to have a decent idea. He's here to compLexity, and it's really, like, this position of these CTs are not particularly good for this round.
Yeah, good round for compLexity, though. They've managed managed to only lose one weapon so far and taken 3 out of the hands of NRG. So if they can close this one out cleanly from here, then that bank is going to start to get rolling early on in the piece, and you know, be nice to start off pretty well on the T side of Nuke. Def taking down Breezy, and now just one player, Peter, to deal with.
That was a nice peek there from Def, just getting around and already shooting at Breezy before he could even see him fully on his screen. So a nice angle to take there and shut down that garage presence. And now Peter has actually found himself an AK, and I believe he might have spotted the head of Surreal there, but not much health remaining in a 1-on-4. Heavy spray through towards Surreal, takes him down to 62. He's got a chance here if he gets in there now, but there's already a lot of players facing him down. Does have a kit, does have armor, but doesn't really have the HP to back it up. And Desi should be able to finish this one out here. Peter not looking the right direction, and there we go. Desi will finish it, and compLexity will get their first round.
Yep, it's one on the board, and they do have a pretty reasonable buy coming into this one. Android should get a drop for him. Looks like Desi's going to be the one to rebuy his AK. NRG, on the other hand, just going to be buying into this one. It's, well, yeah, it's okay. They've got an AWP. I wonder if someone has been able to give Daps a weapon. Doesn't look like it. Just the P250, so that's a little bit of a problem for NRG. They don't have too many utilities to work with either here. We should be seeing a pretty good round come out for compLexity, unless they start getting picked off by this AWP.
Yeah, this AWP on Peter could be a real issue for them. So it's all going to be down on where he's playing. It looks like most of the NRG players are going to be over inside. Not really too much of an outside presence, which means that behind this wall of smokes that they've deployed, compLexity are going to be able to move down secret. Now, Def up on the catwalk here, trying to catch out Peter. Now, Peter aiming low. If Def peeks around this corner and has an idea where... Ooh, there's a flick out of Peter. He looks like he had an idea where Peter was, but neither player going to kill the other. Now, Fugly. His timing up the stairs could be so good. Here's actually a crossfire as well for the CTs. Breezy has already gone down, but Fugly did give himself away a little bit, but not too much, which means he's going to be able to fall back. And in a 4-on-4 here, this is still anyone's round. I mean, we do still have Daps stuck on this P250, but if he can get to the body of Desi and find himself a gun, then we're straight back in this one.
Yeah, definitely some troublesome times here for compLexity, potentially. They do have some control, though, across the map and starting to make their way in towards the B bomb side, or at least hanging around for the moment. Where are they going to go? Def still... It's a very split sort of a setup here for compLexity, isn't it? Like, they're not working too well together, but they're certainly getting those aim duels working. Def finding a kill and bringing it back to a 3 versus 4. Make that a 2 versus 4 as Android is actually going to find himself a double kill.
That's a nice clean little double there. Daps did have a nice little position behind the box, playing the headshot angles. He had that pistol, trying to get some headshots of his own, but instead gets straight up headshotted himself. And now Fugly, 1-on-4, can, I believe, save an AK there if he wants it, but it looks like he's going to stick with this M4 for now. Doesn't want to make the sound of dropping that, perhaps. And he does have some utility, does have himself some armor. He'll be wanting to save here if he can with no kit. Surely there's no way he can go for this. And it looks like he's just going to be lurking around these secret stairs to ride out the rest of this round.
And not much else that he can really do here. Definitely beneficial for him to save this M4 through to the next round, but compLexity have really looked pretty good on this T side. As soon as they got the guns into their hands, they've done a good job of being able to open up those bomb sites, and, well, they started off, brought it back to a 2-2. Or at least when this bomb goes off, it will be a 2-2. So things are starting to look pretty good here for compLexity.
And it's worth noting, compLexity did look the better team in the pistol round as well. Charging in, they moved around the map together. They got out behind the CTs, went out and challenged Garage, got some picks out towards CT spawn, and then went in and got the bomb down. They played it very well. They had the man advantage. They were doing okay in the retake, and then they got smoke diffused. So it's not like they lost the pistol round due to just getting straight eliminated. They've been good on this, well, decently good on this T side pretty much from the start. Question will be if they can continue this, though. And Desi, going to have the MAC-10. The rest of his teammates on the bigger guns. That's a good choice if he runs into these pistoling players. If he runs into Fugly, he's going to have a very rude surprise. But if he can find his way into one of these pistoling players with no armor, then he should be able to mop them up nice and easily and get some cash for himself.
Yeah, definitely. And compLexity should know that Fugly have been able to save that M4 through, and now they definitely do. Desi does go down, as you mentioned, as you predicted, the sort of the unfortunate situation for him, running into the only player with an actual weapon on the other side for NRG. But even still, it shouldn't be a particularly difficult cleanup here for compLexity. They still have the weapon advantage, and now they've brought it back to a 4v4. Android finding one, Def as well, going to be able to pick up Breezy there on the rafters. It's now 2 versus 4. Only one gun still alive here for NRG. I wonder if Fugly decides he wants to do anything with this, or if he knows. Just tries to save it. Looks like he's going to be able to take down Def. Nicely played from him. Let's open things up a bit here for CTs.
He saw the shadow above him, knew he could go for the pick, and did indeed get that one, but with no kit and no armor on Daps, well, no kit at all, no armor on Daps, and only a MAC-10 for him against the armor and against the rifles, that's not going to be the greatest setup. Looks like he's going to go for this one, try and work his way through the smoke and do some damage, but Fugly checking out of this round, looking to save this gun once again, keep that thing alive so his team can have something behind it, and Daps may be waiting for this smoke to fade. He's not going to be able to defuse with no kit, but just trying to find an exit kill. And unfortunately, he peeks into 2 of the Ts. They take him out, and now Fugly, once again, saving a gun.
All right, well, 3 on the board, 3 on the trot even for compLexity as well. Having a look at NRG's economy, they should be able to maybe buy into this one with a pretty reasonable buy. An AWP actually coming out there, going to be given over to Peter, but it's going to mean Fugly's not going to have all that much cash, so he gets a drop for him and a mag 7 in the end for Daps. So it's actually pretty good in the end. Still not a huge amount of utilities there, and obviously compLexity have got the better buy here, but I mean, I don't mind a mag 7, to be honest, on Nuke. I think it can definitely have its place.
Absolutely. If you play that thing in vents or if you play it inside hut, I mean, Hiko, for example, loves using his auto shotgun on the roof of hut. The mag 7 can be used. It's a, you know, not an automatic weapon, but can be used for one-shot kills inside hut or inside vents, and there we go. He's going to be playing around that hut position. So it's a fairly standard position for a shotgun on this map, as the Ts have to come around a very close corner that they can't really check before they go around it. And if your reflexes are quick enough, then you can get away with a shotgun kill. So that's the plan, at least. But for right now, the T's not going to be giving it to him. That's a nice angle from Peter, actually. And Hell, they do not know where he is.
Yeah.
Down in the Hell position, shooting through the catwalk. They had no idea. He gets himself 2. There's Breezy finding another. And, oh, hits the leg there, Peter. Nice flick. And Surreal left on 17 HP from that AWP shot. 1 on 5. Surely this clutch will not be a thing. Going to be looking for a player here, but look at Marky sneaking up on his left. Marky not checking him. Surreal knows that he had the time to take that shot there, so he does. Doesn't rush and miss that kill. Does get that one at least, but Peter, another kill for him, a 3K in that round. Some very nice shooting to start off with from that Hell position.
Works out quite nicely. Looks like he's going to keep it through to this round. And as you mentioned, that was a very nice position for him. You could tell compLexity just didn't know where he was. They were kind of looking up at the rafters while their teammates were all falling, and Peter got away with 2 free kills, finds a 3rd in the end, towards the end of the round there as well. Not to mention that leg that he got as well over to one of those compLexity players. So did a lot of damage for NRG that round, and good to see him with the AWP in his hands. See whether or not he's going to be able to repeat that this round.
Well, that'll be the test, won't it? But we do have an AWP out onto Surreal as well. So they do have an AWP of their own to answer with. And I like to see this out of Peter as well. He's changed up his position. Last round he was towards Hell, and while I don't think they figured it out, he's already changed it up just in case they have. So this round, at least for now, he's going to be playing from Heaven. That spam from Fugly is very close indeed, but not going to make it through the corner to find Android. We'll re-smoke it again. Android, he's just stuck on the other side of the smoke, just questing through it, probing through it with bullets, trying to see if he can find anything out as to where these cities are. But for now, no one really pushing anywhere too aggressively on either team.
Daps content to take this mag 7 through to this round as well. He could have potentially picked up one of the compLexity AKs or something like that, but he's happy with the shotgun, and I'm still waiting to see some fireworks from him with it, but surely it's going to happen later on, or sooner or later.
Yeah, you think eventually compLexity will go through this hut where they will find that shotgun waiting for them if they do get in there. But for now, they're avoiding it, and there's some nice trades, actually. A wallbang for Surreal and just a nice AK shot there out of Breezy, which means we get a 1-for-1 trade. We're at a 4-on-4 still with 36 seconds left on the clock now. Looks like Daps might actually get a free kill here, and it's the bomb. Android is already low. We'll fall out of that one, which is the right move to make, but if Daps pushes this, he's going to avoid that flashbang, which means it's going to be dangerous here. Misses the first shot, looking for it again, misses the second as well. That is unfortunate there, and now compLexity entering onto this upper side, get themselves 2 kills already. Fugly already down on the lower side. Peter is up here and possibly able to contest. I'm actually going to be through the radio room behind him, but Surreal was ready for that angle, and it looks like Desi is equally ready for this one if Fugly goes up this ladder. Yeah,
this is a little unfortunate really for NRG. They looked so good last round, and then it all just capitulates for them here in this one, and that's going to put them back on the economy reset. So pretty important here for Fugly to take this M4 through the next round. We've already seen him be able to save it once. Is he going to be able to do it again? Well, no, considering he's picked up an AK, but he's going to try and save that one. I think compLexity are going to be pretty keen to get rid of that gun from his hands, but actually looks like they're just deciding to back out here. Fugly should get through to the next round with an AK. Perhaps compLexity not so keen on losing any more guns than they already have this round. Their economy still not yet fully built up, and so Fugly's going to be okay there. But compLexity now with 4 on the board, and yeah, no real chance for a buy in this one for them.
Yeah, I mean, Fugly has now held onto a gun for, I believe, the last 3 rounds in a row. He's been hiding somewhere at the end, keeping a rifle alive to carry it through. It's been an M4 twice, now it's an AK. And we've seen him saving, and we've seen his teammates occasionally able to buy with him, occasionally not. But we need a hero play, really. That rifle, I mean, now that he's got an AK, he's got a better chance, perhaps, than if he had an M4. But it's still not going to be. He's actually just going to be getting aggressive with that thing, trying to do the damage early for his team. Going to be holding a sneaky angle inside, but the T's are not here. They're busy setting up a bit of an execute outside by the looks of things to take some control there. Maybe move over towards Secrets through the good old wall of smokes. But nothing happening just yet here as we tick past a minute 30 gone.
Yeah, it's still compLexity hanging around outside, but as of yet, haven't really thrown too many smokes. Hard to say for NRG how much they actually know what's going on here. Mark is going to have a big job to do, and he does it well. He picks up the first kill onto Def with their USP. He will go down, getting traded out there by Uber, but even Uber gets dropped down to 15 HP. He's not going to bother him too much until Desi shoots him in the head, and well, that's a little unfortunate for compLexity. 3 versus 3 now, as we do see that team kill come out, but Desi pushing through here. He's going to try and make amends, and not quite an excellent flick from Fugly. But in the end, it's probably not going to be enough there. Surreal and Android finding a killer piece. Now he's in a 2v1 clutch, and he won't be able to get the first kill. Surreal takes him down.
Nice shooting there from Surreal with that AWP to finish out. That was a ridiculous flick from Fugly. I'd love to see that from his POV. That was, well, it looked incredibly quick. So nice work out of him, but unfortunately not quite enough to get his team across the line, as compLexity now have 5 rounds. It's another bye here. NRG will get their own buy up. They've got themselves 4 M4s and a FAMAS on Marquee. Now, Marquee has gone for some head armor. Maybe could have bought himself something else with that money, but not too much else he could afford. And I assume if he is on $0 right now, then perhaps he just couldn't afford a kit, so went for some extra armor anyway. But against full AKs, not going to make too much of a difference here. And compLexity looking good so far on their T side.
Definitely. I mean, the one round that they lost to NRG, I mean, NRG looked very good in that one. But aside from that, it really hasn't been all that close. compLexity have kind of just been rolling over NRG pretty easily, I got to say, and it's nice to see NRG just changing up their defensive positions. Obviously, Peter here holding a different angle to what he has been, and he does have a rifle, which is probably part of the reason as to why he's doing that. But again, it's not really working out for compLexity here. Desi is just on fire.
Finds himself 2. Breezy does trade back at least 1 kill, and Def pretty low as well. But Desi looking to continue his entry fragging ways here. Going to be going and chasing after Peter, who looks like he's actually going to be walking back over towards him. This engagement could be all important. The timing here. Peter is going to get into vents. Looks like he will get away with his life for now without being shot in the back. Just trying to help his teammates out in the upper side. But little does he know, the T's are just crouching in, walking in here. Very sneaky, very stealthy, trying to get down to the slower side without giving it away. But this angle from Peter, if they check this, looks like Desi won't be checking the vents, which means this timing from Peter. If he hears a noise here, if he detects that something's going on, if he waits for Android to go by him, none of them have checked this corner and vents here. If he picks his timing well, it looks like he might just be able to get out there and get behind him. But for now, a very, very quiet T-side out of compLexity. But with 20 seconds left, they need to start moving, and there's the first one. Def picks up Peter. I thought he was going to be able to pull something sneaky in the smoke, but no such thing happening. Android, nice headshot onto Fugly. Uber finishes it off, taking down Marquee, and that is the 6th round now for compLexity.
There was definitely some very real possibilities there for NRG to find a pick or deny the bomb plan even. You know, obviously the bomb plan was behind the silo there, but in the end, nothing really went the way of NRG. Like everything, it looked like a round sort of still hanging in the balance, and then all of a sudden compLexity just won the round, and again, another convincing round. Android X doing a pretty good job. Uber and Def as well. I mean, Desi, I said he was on fire, but he's actually the bottom fragger for compLexity at the moment. I think they're all contributing quite nicely. NRG obviously back onto the pistol here, so we can't expect too much out of them in this round. But compLexity are definitely really looking good at the moment on the T side of Nuke.
Exactly, and it's worth saying, Desi might be the bottom fragger, but only by 2 frags, and 3 of his teammates are tied for top frag on 7. So it's not like it's not that much of an issue, really, and it's good to see that all of compLexity are out here to play today. They're all out here getting frags. It's not like we have a Hiko, an early train sort of thing last round where we was on 17 and 3 or something like that, just getting all of the frags. They're all contributing here, which is always good to see. It's always nice when a team works as a team, plays as a team, frags as a team. So they've actually found themselves some very nice positions here. They've taken basically full 360-degree control of the upper floor, at least, of Nuke, moving around. They've got NRG pretty much completely encircled inside the bomb sites, but the question is going to be whether or not they can use that control to get in and take the bomb sites. And for now, looks like they're using the full time that they have in this round to just wait out and try and catch a frag. And there we go. There's the first one. Android going to take down Peter. Again, only pistols here for compLexity. No armor. So this really should be for NRG. Sorry, this really should be a round for compLexity. And here they go. They're throwing a smoke at a lower bomb site. Going to plant inside the thing for a bit of additional safety. There's a kill from Marky, actually. We'll take down Uber. So there's a gun possible to be recovered there. But Android on this upper side looking to clean up. Will get himself the first kill. Def gets one as well. Android with another. If Fugly goes through here, Android could get the 4K in the round, but no matter who gets that last kill, this round is over. Fugly has no armor and no kit. There's no way he can get there in time, so maybe some damage possible from him, but a nice round out of compLexity.
Yeah, best case scenario again for him is just to take down one of these players and save the gun through the next round, but even that perhaps at this point is almost wishful thinking. He does have a CZ, so if he can catch someone off guard, there's a chance. Oh, he's actually been able to pick up the AK there. I didn't realize there was one dropped right in the A-bomb side, but is he going to be able to get out of this alive? That's the question. The answer is no. Desi again to find the frag. That's another one on the board for compLexity. Another round from NRG, which didn't look all that convincing, given the fact that they had pistols. Can't really blame them. But this is where we need to see them starting to step up again. They need to find a round now.
Absolutely. And they've got themselves an AWP as well. I believe there's an AWP and 4 rifles on both teams now. So for the first time in a while, we've got a pretty even buy on the board. So this is one of those rounds where it's not so much on who has the better guns as it's who's the better team right now. And for me at the moment, that is looking like compLexity. They're up 7-3 on the T side of Nuke. But we'll have to see. I mean, Peter, the last round he had an AWP, playing from that hell position towards that outer catwalk, was very effective with it, eventually getting himself 3 kills, and 2 of them almost entirely unanswered. So we'll have to see if he can mirror that performance in this round.
Well, a fairly standard kind of a hold here, really, from NRG. They do have a bit of control over towards outer. A couple of players over there, not always what you'll see, but Breezy is going to find the first kill onto Def. Working out nicely so far for the CTs is this setup, but really the full assault from compLexity is going to be headed in towards at least the ramp room, but potentially also the B bomb site. And compLexity have cleared out the ramp room quite nicely. No one in that area, but Peter is going to be crucial.
Angle. Ooh, spots the foot. Not going to get the pick, though. Now they know that he's there. I do like this out of compLexity, by the way, this style. They're down a man, so all 4 of them just group up and move together. They go as one unit. They're all checking corners at different times. They've all got their teammates' backs entirely covered. So in that sort of position, they can't really be surprised. Again, a smoke down to them and a plant in the smoke. Android, nice shot there onto Fugly, removing him from the round, deleting him from the server. And now we're back in a 4-on-4. Bomb is down. There is 2 kits on the CT side. They've got a chance this one, but these positions from these teams are actually quite good, although Peter will find the first pick onto Uber on the retake here. So now it's a 3-on-4, and Surreal's given away his position with the AWP as well. Yeah,
he's in a tough spot here. He can get flanked around the back. An important miss from him actually there onto Breezy. Did he spot out Peter? I think he did. Oh no, he misses the shot. That's really not good for Surreal here. Is he going to be able to find a second chance? He does get the second chance, misses that as well. In the end, Peter's going to clean up too, and now we're back to a 1v1. Android, it looks like it's going to be compLexity to win the round, but oh my word, that was a little bit messy.
A little bit messy indeed. I mean, compLexity still come away with the win, but that was a bit of a chaotic retake and a bit of a chaotic hold there. So both teams sort of, you know, just having a bit of issues with just sorting out exactly what they're doing. But compLexity will get the win due to time. It was a bit of a weird round, but they managed to hold off the post plant long enough that there was no time for the CTs to defuse. In a 1-on-1, that's going to be NRG falling away and decided they can't really go for that one. Now, Android has stepped up a bit here. He is currently 13-4 for his team. So we're starting to see a bit more of that individual fragging shining through. But as a unit, compLexity is still doing very well here.
At the very least here for NRG, they've managed to take that AWP through to the next round. They have saved quite a few guns through to each round, but really haven't been able to do anything with those saved guns in the next round. So hopefully, at least here for NRG, the AWP of Peter is going to be able to find some sort of frag, or at least maybe leg someone for a pistol play to finish off. We'll have to see how it works out. That's a good start. Actually, that's a very good start. We've seen quite a few kills, and, well, it looks like compLexity have just walked into a very nice crossfire setup of NRG, and in the end, that's a sublime round, really, for NRG. They find 4 kills, or 5 kills even, without losing too many kills of their own, only dropping 1, so they're able to save 4 guns through to this round, and that's really started to kickstart their economy.
Absolutely. They've managed to save a second AWP there as well. That round was just entirely compLexity walked into a blender. They just stepped into the crossfire of pistols and they just melted. And now there's a double AWP facing them down. Fugly going to be taking the second one. Of course, Peter's still on the first for NRG. So we'll have to see if they can do anything with those here. There is the AWP back out on Surreal on the T side, so that is at least good for the T. So there's a flash high from Android. Going to pop behind them so they can move forward down his outer's position. And they've actually already had a couple of engagements. I know there's a few players around here. That's a nice Molotov to stop them off. There's Surreal finding the first pick, but now Breezy looking to answer back here. Still waiting for someone to jump up on the silo. They're not going to be doing it for now. They're still just around this red container, at least Surreal is with the AWP. And Breezy, this push could actually catch out Surreal.
NRG really need to win this round. They can't afford to be reset again, and it just seems to be going the way of compLexity once more. It's 5 versus 3, but yeah, NRG last time they won the round, they got reset. This time they win the round. It's looking like they could potentially get reset again here. Fugly, though, does at least pull 1 back for NRG. Needs to maybe find another one before compLexity get too far ahead of themselves. It's 55 seconds left on the clock, so compLexity do have a fair bit of time on the clock to work with, but they've actually got quite a lot of map control as well. I was about to say they don't have too much map control, but then I noticed that player lurking around outer. It is Desi. He's just in a fantastic position here behind the rest of NRG, and he's going to catch Fugly out with that flashbang. Wasn't able to get the kill. In the end, a 2-for-1 trade overall. Still, it's back to a 2v2 and now a 2v1. Uber doing a good job of trading those frags for his teammates. Desi rejoining Uber, and it looks like they should be able to get the bomb down quite safely on the B-bomb site.
And now Fugly, everything to do as well. He does have an M4 available to him, which he will pick up. That is a better gun for clutching a 1-on-2 than perhaps an AWP, but he's got a player above him as well who was waiting for him, and that's Desi with the read. Had a good idea of where Fugly was, waited for him to come through, and did take him down. Don't manage to save an AWP for the T side, but they do win the round, and that's really not going to be good for NRG's economy. Yeah,
Desi going to be buying up that AWP. I think it was into the hands of Uber. Nope. Well, it was in the hands of Uber. Now into the hands of Surreal. So we'll see how he goes with that one. Going to be going up again against Peter, who has managed to find himself with an AWP again. But NRG, 4 rounds on the board on your CT side of Nuke and compLexity with 9 on the T. No matter how this round goes, really, I feel like it's a good start for compLexity.
Absolutely. compLexity, worst case scenario for them right here is a 9-6, which I think they're still going to be happy with here, starting on T-side Nuke. So that's going to be good. And, of course, if they can win the next 2 rounds, an 11-4 would be amazing. The timing on that from Desi, by the way, not seeing that CT behind him, that was very close indeed. But I think a bit of smoke did manage to block him off, and that was Dabs just peeking out for a second, but staying alive for now. And really, again, map control being taken here by the T's. We've got Def all the way up on the rafters behind. Desi moving towards the secret stairs, but Def, he's actually been able to get in here for free. Wow. He could catch out this whole thing. This position from him is so crucial right now.
Needs to be a little bit more confident, push in there and see if he can spot the player, but wasn't able to do that just yet. In the end, Android is going to find Marky. He's going to catch Peter off guard here. Surely Peter doesn't suspect that there's a player hanging around near towards zone spawn. Looks like it's... Oh, that grenade wasn't quite on point. Still, though, it's information there for compLexity, and information wins games.
Whoa!
Def didn't have the information that Def was sitting next to the vent there, and we're back to a 2 versus 3 now in the favor of NRG. Desi, rather, taking down Daps, who was on the reload. We're back now to a 1 versus 2. Desi doing a good job of pulling this one back in the favor of compLexity. Though Peter has an angle. Oh, Desi almost got collided there.
That could have been... If he won that round with a collat, that would have been absolutely nuts. Unfortunately, he fired a second too early, I believe, and didn't get it across the line. But he's still got a chance in this one now. Going to be breaking the vent. He's walking around, not making any sound, trying to mind game Desi here. He does have a kit, so he's got a bit of time to play with. And
did Peter? No.
I don't think Peter spotted him. That must have been so close. He actually might have. Looks like he might be trying to play around behind him here. The bomb timer is
going to have to break the glass. That's the problem. As long as Desi doesn't step back here, he's okay.
Ooh, again, the timing just so close. And now going for the no-scope. I thought he was going to get the flick. He's so close there. Chasing him down, looking for it. And Desi will get the kill. Peter already tagged so low from his prior engagement. That was so nearly a clutch from him.
Yeah.
But not quite.
If that glass was broken, Peter probably would have won that round.
Absolutely. The only thing stopping him from going through there was he knew he would make a sound, and given that his entire movement in that clutch previously had been entirely silent, he didn't want to give away his position, and breaking that glass, he had to do it to get in there, and unfortunately, it gave away his position, and he missed the flick. It was so close as well on that quickscope, but didn't get it across the line, which means now compLexity 10-4.
Yeah, and unfortunate now for NRG, they don't have the real... they don't have the cash to buy into this one properly. It's just going to be the pistols and the armor, so compLexity should be able to pull this one off. And if they can set themselves up with an 11-4 half, that's going to be excellent. Even a 10-4 half, I would say, is excellent. But 11 is going to be just that one better. And can't complain about an extra round on the board at all for compLexity, as long as they're able to pull this one off.
And it looks like they're going for it. There's a nice shot from Def. Will get traded out by Breezy, who's now been spotted out. Surreal going to throw that Molotov to force him out, but not going to go for the peek. Nearly hits the shot as he's jumping away, but not going to do it. These T's now grouping up, moving down secret. Desi running in, takes out Daps. Here goes the entry for the T's, moving into this lower bomb site. The bomb actually still down at the bottom of Outis. They've got to go back there and get that thing, but they do have a player close to it. That is Uber, just waiting around in that area. He can go and get that bomb whenever his teammates are ready. In the meantime, they're trying to get some frags on the board here. They're already in this lower bomb site. Fugly, heavy damage on Desi. I believe he was already tagged. Still does a lot more work, but not going to get the kill. And now, bomb in hand, these teams are going to be moving down towards this lower bomb site, and it's just the 5-7s of Marquis and Breezy to do this one.
Yeah, they really needed that kill with that CZ. If maybe he wasn't moving, he might have been able to pick up the kill. That's a good shot, though, from Breezy onto Desi. Still, though, not going to equalize the player advantage. Still a 3 versus 2 in the favor of compLexity. The bomb does go down now as well, so the job even more difficult for NRG. They don't have any kits to work with, so I think this one is going to be a little bit difficult. In the end, Breezy goes down to Android, and that is that. Android finding the final 2 kills of that round. It is going to be 11-4 in the favor of compLexity after the first half. We'll head to a quick break, but we'll be back with the second half in just a sec.
Get your team apparel now at shop.eslgaming.com.
Alrighty, and back into the second half. Looks like we've missed part of the round here, but it's certainly... Oh, and what am I talking about? What am I talking about? Why did I even say that? Gun's still on the field. That's embarrassing. But luckily, we haven't missed any of the round. So
Exactly.
That's the important part, isn't it?
I mean, unfortunately, we've missed what was evidently a pretty neat 4K here for Android. Going for the epic warm-up ace, but conveniently, pistol round isn't usually played with rifles, so we'll just be waiting for this warm-up to end. I can only assume it won't go for too much longer, guys. We'll be straight back in here with this game. Come on, Android, get the ace. Oh, denied. That's unfortunate. 4K, but not enough. But here we are, going live again with the second half with pistols this time.
Yep.
11-4 for compLexity, starting on the CT side now. It is such a long path back for NRG, but if they can do it, it has to start in this round right here. This pistol round is all important for them.
Yeah, exactly. And we said that the same thing about Selfless last map against Optic on Train, where they had to pick up that pistol round, and well, they didn't, and they didn't win in the end. So NRG are surely going to be hoping they're going to be able to pull this one off. They have gone for pretty standard buy, just with the armor and one person picking up the utilities. Nuba's going to fall back. He gets lots of information though, so we should see a pretty quick rotate for compLexity here, or at the very least, they're going to be aware that there will be a push in towards the B site.
That said, though, here comes Breezy up in the roughs on the upper side, but a nice shot from Android takes him down. Whoop, bit of team damage there. Obviously very trigger happy here is Android, trying to get these kills. He knows where both these players are. He's just playing around the side, trying to isolate him. Gets himself another one, actually, and now looking for the last kill. Marky's position is known, Android. That was some sharp USP work there from him, getting himself a 3K in the round, and that's going to be not the pistol round that NRG wanted at all, only getting one kill before Android shut him down.
It's looking like compLexity is going to be completely demolishing NRG here on Nuke, but they do have to close out these remaining few rounds. It is NRG obviously going to be just sitting here with a pistol buy, not even really a buy, to be honest. Okay, they're buying pistols now. But regardless, they're not going to be buying too much into this round. It's the AKs for next round that they're going to be looking forward to. compLexity just going to be probably rolling over this one quite safely, but I think next round is where we're going to have to start to really see them work for their rounds.
Absolutely. That's this play from NRG right here is, as you said, it's just they're putting emphasis on the next round. The next round is the one they want, and these pistols actually could do some damage here, but the double peaks coming in from compLexity. A bit of team damage going back and forth there between the rifle and the UMP, but they are shutting it down. There we go. Surreal whips out the USP again. He's been so good with that thing. Def finishes off Daps with the UMP, and I'm not even sure that was 100 total damage done to the compLexity side there.
Well, whatever it wasn't enough for NRG. This time, though, they do have those AKs in their hands, so they'll be hoping for a little bit more. I suspect it'll probably be a bit of a slower play than what we saw there on the pistol round as well. I think NRG just wanted to get that one out of the way. And compLexity looks like they've pretty much fully bought into this one, although they've saved a few SMGs through, which is not a terrible idea, to be honest. They do have quite a lot of utilities as well. So feeling pretty confident, I think, is compLexity here. They've got a lot of rounds to play with, though Def should probably go down here. It's a good pop flash. Not able to really work out for him in the end, though.
It's interesting we didn't see a tactical pause before this round either. Usually a team this far down who knows that their next rifle round is going to be an all or nothing might call a pause so they can have a chat about it, figure out what they want to do. But so far it doesn't look like NRG has needed it. They've got out and they've got themselves their first kill very early on and taken no damage in return. So this is a good start for them. But again, with so far left to go to catch up in this one, they need this round. They need every round they can get, honestly. But with the rifles, this is the best chance they have to come back into this one. It just depends on where they're going to go. Right now, they're playing some map control. They've got complete control of outers. Look at that, 3 players there moving in towards Heaven and Hell. Going to check CT spawn as well. There is no one there, but this is very nice coordinated movement here from NRG.
Yeah, getting some good map control across the board. Android ready for the peak, though. Does drop Daps down to 10 HP. Not quite enough damage to pick up the kill, but it's useful damage, that's for sure. Peter, though, able to find Uber. In the end, Daps is going to be taken down, but you have to feel like compLexity are still on the back foot in this one.
Absolutely, the Dallas are player disadvantage as well. I mean, they're looking to change that here, but that's not the way to do it. As Fugly takes down Surreal. This flank from Desi could be excellent, but it's now only him on this flank to try and do all of it. He has 3 kills left to find. Might find the one on Fugly there, trying to get the damage done through the wall. Breezy up high, he'll take him down. He actually knows where these guys are now. I think Desi has a chance in this one. He does not have a kit. He does have a few grenades to try and work with. Molotov into Hut to try and force them out of there. But all right, sharp. Peter comes out and nails the stutter step shot, takes down Desi and puts an end to any hope that compLexity had in that one.
Yeah, and that's exactly what NRG needed. They needed to find that round. If they hadn't, this would have been all over. But now they're still hanging in there. 5 rounds is not too many up against the 13 of compLexity, but it is something at least. And compLexity now going to be forced onto a pretty reasonable buy, in all honesty. But the utilities is what's kind of lacking for them in this round.
Exactly, but Surreal getting into, aggressive early on outers here, holding this angle. They're actually trying to bait him into an AWP shot there, but he's not going to fall for it, not holding an angle far enough out to see it anyway. And that means no early exchange here. It's worth noting Daps is stuck on that Tech 9. If one of his teammates dies, he'll be able to pick up their gun, but of course, he doesn't want their guns because he wants them to be alive to use them.
Yep.
Either way, NRG moving over towards Secret here. Def could shut this whole thing down depending on how this peak goes for him. Breezy was ready for that.
Yeah.
Sharp aim takes him down. We've seen a lot of that from Breezy in his time before on Selfless. Now on NRG, he's always been a sharp rifler when he's on point, and seems like he's going to continue that today.
Yeah, I don't think that's what you want to see when you peek up in towards outers. 3 little heads there ready to shoot you. Obviously, they were in a good spot to get shot, but he was just not quick enough on the draw. Peter finding a kill onto Desi as well. This is looking like NRG with a bit of a resurgence on the T side. compLexity having some struggles.
Oh, I thought there was going to be a chance there for, I believe it was Android at the end, but gets shut down. And compLexity, as you said, having trouble. They look so good on their T side. Their CT so far looking a little bit shaky. Admittedly, they've only lost a couple of rounds here. They do have a lot of rounds to play with. They only need 3 rounds to get it over the line, so as opposed to the 10 that NRG are going to need. But right now, their momentum is all with NRG. They've got themselves these rifles. They've even got that stolen M4 and Adapt, so he didn't have a gun last round. And only pistols here for compLexity. There's no armor at all. It's just 3 P250s, couple USPs, that's it.
Alrighty, well, just the pistol rounds, as you say here, for compLexity. So not a whole lot that we can really expect from them.
Especially with
Surreal's got a little bit of information there, though. He spotted out those players on outer. So is that going to allow compLexity to find something here? He's going to rotate across underneath Hell. Breaks those windows. I mean, there's not much that he can do here with those smokes, and it actually looks like NRG is just going to file their way in towards the A-bomb site, which is probably a good decision for them. Android is going to get caught out, trying to make his way in there. Peter watching the rotation, and a very nice round, really, all things considered, for NRG.
Exactly. That was very well played from them. They figured out pretty quick their opponents were only on pistols. They left Peter in outer while they aborted their plan of going through Secret, and well, it looks like they were going to go through Secret. Went in through the mini hut outside and went and put the bomb down, and then they left Peter there, cut off the rotation, got himself a kill, and leaves just Uber, the only player remaining. Does have a P250, so, you know, he's got a chance, especially if he can find Marky. He can get a kill. Marky only 15 HP, and Marky's actually the player looks like he's going to find here if Uber moves now, but now he's going to face down against Daps, and Daps is ready for that. There was a chance had the timing worked out for him, but as usual, we have the X-ray, we have the map. We can say we'd like timing to work out all we like, but the players
don't know.
Not in the same spot.
Yeah, exactly. And all of a sudden, 7 rounds on the board now for NRG. This is starting to look a little bit better for them. It's still not a comfortable position at all. They do have a lot of work to do to get back into this one, but they are certainly going about it quite nicely. Again, it's going to be compLexity on the buy, but it's really not the ideal buy. There's not that many utilities. There's a UMP there on Uber as well, so they're going to have to be on point if they want to deal with NRG in this round.
And they're going to have a problem with Daps as well, who is essentially, in practice, just been upgraded to an AK because he does have that M4, but there is no head armor on the CTs, which means he can one-tap them just as well as an AK can. So that's a good situation for him to be in because now he's on level footing with his teammates. Not that I think it bothered him too much anyway, especially with all the utility they have here. This one's going to have to be something quite special out of compLexity if they want to have a chance of doing this one. For now, fairly default play from both these teams here. NRG taking control of outers. It's Breezy just watching that garage position, trying to see if anyone's going to peek. There is no one there for the CTs. They're all waiting inside. And here come the T's actually. Def, this position going to be all important. He's lost his teammate, but are they going to check this corner? They will. Gets the spray, gets 2. Looking for Marky now. He's going to be the next one there, and he'll drop him as well. Now Peter, the last player remaining. He is in this outer position. They know where he is now, but he'll be traded out. There we go. 14-7, and Def out of nowhere, saving his team.
Great stuff from Def. He's really stepped up in that round, and as you say, now 14 on the board for compLexity. They're getting ever so closer. NRG will be able to buy into this one. They'll be able to afford an AWP, but looks like they're just content to go with the 5 rifle setup. I liked what NRG did there early on in the round. You know, they were trying to isolate or figure out where the CTs were. They were using their utilities well, but it just didn't work out too well in the end. They didn't figure out that there was a player sitting behind that vent, and Def took advantage of it. Now compLexity in a real good spot. They've got a little bit of momentum back in their favor. NRG have to step up in this round.
Absolutely, and I thought there was going to be an early pick chance there for Surreal. I think you saw that T jumping through his scope, but didn't take the shot and fell back, I believe. Nice grenade there by Def to go through that door, I believe. I'm not sure if it was already broken, but it's definitely through there now. And outers control again for the T's. They're playing this one very methodically, and last round, you know, as you said, in the start of the round, it definitely looked good for them. They did lose control of it towards the end because that corner being checked by a low HP player meant it was an easy kill for Def and then an easy mop-up for him from there. So, again, they had the right idea. They did check the corner, but a low HP player just meant they got taken out. So we'll have to see what they can do here. That's a nice shot from Surreal. That was a headshot as well. Peter will trade him out, but there's a 4-on-4 already. Peter continuing to move through the outside here, looking to do what he can for his teammates. But, I mean, compLexity's still going to be feeling pretty good about this one.
Desi's in a pretty good spot to catch out Marky here. Daps as well, starting to push in towards the A-bomb site, but this has not worked out well at all for NRG. They've just been completely crushed by compLexity, and they need to do something to come back into this one, but it's not happened at all. Unfortunate for the Mag 7 not to get the one shot there, but in the end, it is compLexity to close out another round. 15 on the board for them. NRG in a real struggle street. They don't have too much money to buy into this one. They'll be able to get a bit of cash or a bit of weaponry, but not perfect.
I'd like to point out that we saw as well, we saw a Sawn-Off come out on the T side. What's the bet? That's on Daps. Vents. I mean, surely he's got to play Vents. I mean, it works. I've seen it work before, especially in Australian Counter-Strike. We've seen a bit of Nuke. We've seen people playing, you know, in the Vents with a shotgun. It's always amusing to see when it works for them, but the question will be if you can make that thing work, because you've got to get into the Vents first. But there we go. He's done that. And now he doesn't really need to do too much for his team at this point. Doesn't need to take the bomb site necessarily. His job right now is to just be the troll in these Vents, to wait for people to come his way and block them off. In the meantime, we have had a 1-for-1 trade. Uber and Fugly out of this round for now. Nice spray from Surreal, but too early. He even anticipated the moving secret, but just did it too early. There goes Daps, though. The Sawn-Off done, and now it's a 3-on-4. compLexity looking good to finish this one out here. They only need 3 more kills to win Nuke.
Yeah, it's Surreal. He hasn't spotted the cross, but obviously compLexity is going to suspect that there is something going on down towards the B bomb site, and they'd be correct in their suspicions. NRG making their way in that direction. Desi doesn't have a huge amount of HP to play with here, so he does need some backup from his teammates who look to be all up towards the A bomb site for the moment, and Desi, I think correctly, just going to hide in this smoke here. He might be able to catch Breezy off guard if the smoke fades at the right time. He catches him, and that's a nice kill there for compLexity. He might find a second, actually. No, it's Peter to close out that kill, but I think it's all said and done. In the end, it's Surreal to find a double kill, and it is going to be compLexity to close out the first map of Nuke.
Yeah, that was well played by them. I mean, we saw them eventually get going. They had that very dominant first half and admittedly lost their way a little bit. We had a bit of a comeback train going on, but in the end, they managed to get back in control and close that one out pretty convincingly.
Yeah, there wasn't really like a standout player there as well. I don't think necessarily any of them were a cut above any of the other teammates. It was a really good team performance there. I felt like all of them were contributing.
Yeah, I mean, we did see some very nice play out of Android, especially with that pistol round as well. That was incredibly sharp from him. But a real team effort, as you said, and I think that's what contributed to them. Now, the question will be if they can continue that into this next map. Yeah,
a lot of the rounds that NRG looked good in, I think, was specifically Peter looking good with the AWP, and they didn't have the AWP in his hands too much, so hopefully for them they can get the AWP into his hands a little bit more on Cobblestone, which will be the next map. For now, though, we're going to head to a quick break. We'll be back in a few minutes, though, with Cobblestone.